Oh, shushy, shushy, please be quiet. This tippy-tappy gobshidery ain't for you. Alex Belfield's voice of reason.
Howdy, Chunky. The temperature's rising this week. Yes, it's getting clammy, steamy, and you could say Mrs. Moist. Even the dog's got its sunglasses on as we reach 40 degrees. Never before have we seen such pressure rising as the world has taken to the streets. But that's not why you called. Tonight at 9, we're back with the phone-in at the Voice of Reason, the number one and only free speech network. We're now having to go behind my paywall at alexbelfield.com because of stories like excess deaths. Tomorrow at 6 a.m, I'll be breaking down the news that was buried by Boris this week. That 1,300, and that's not to do with COVID. In fact, COVID is included within it, which is just 200 on top. These 1,300 deaths are mysterious. They don't want you to talk about things like this on the mainstream media. That's why you didn't see it as the top story on news. But think of 1,300 families devastated this week alone. And this has been the case for weeks. 500, 700, 800. The excess deaths are rising. We'll be talking about that tomorrow at 6 a.m. We'll also be discussing the 13,000 dinghy divers that have arrived on our shores, and nothing's happened. As you can see, my giraffe here was given to me by the foreign minister from Rwanda. The foreign minister from Rwanda currently is living in Monte Carlo. He'll be going on his yacht this afternoon before flying to Barbados to live in a mansion there paid for by us, because that money that we gave them has so far been wasted, a bit like the money we gave France to keep the dinghy divers there. Instead, they used that money to buy boats to bring them to the middle of the channel where they were picked up by the RNLI dinghy service, the taxi service for those who want to stay in hotels, putting us all in grave danger. Look at Liverpool and the taxi driver situation on Remembrance Sunday. We've never been in such a clusterfuck globally. People are taking to the streets. Farming is my biggest worry at the moment, because when very simple products, as I told my audience on Friday, and thank you, by the way, to the 2,000 new subscribers since July 1st, it seems people want to be part of this secret network. Why should free speech be secret? Why should I not be able to talk about things here openly? Why were channels here closed down during COVID for simply telling what is now known to be the truth? You see, the conspiracy theorists they told us were dangerous were in fact the prophets. They were the people who actually were on the right side of history. Who's on the right side of history this week? We've just seen back-to-back Boris, haven't we? A man who is deplorable and was voted in for that reason. We loved the fact that he loves his man sausage and sharing his seed, left, right and centre, his comings and going. He's been around the houses. In fact, he's stayed in most of them. We know, don't we, that there was a blowjob in a parliamentary office that has been quickly swept under the carpet. It's been swallowed quicker than, well, never mind about that. As we go into a new week, we need to start looking at the future of this country. Things like who's going to be the next prime minister.
I have friends who are aristocrats, I have friends who are upper class, I have friends who are, working class, but I'm not working class.
Anyway, that's not why you called.
I watched the political programmes this morning. Little Sophie Rayworth, what a lovely lady she is. So debonair, so nice with her lovely blonde hair, sat there, not really asking any question we care about. She wants to know about the tax affairs of politicians. I'm more interested to know about their payoff, which she didn't raise to any of them. I understand you get about £15,000 for resigning in a severance pay. That's cost you this week £500,000. I'll be talking about that tomorrow at alexbelfield.com, where we're uncensored. Unlike Piers Morgan, who still has made no impact in ratings, despite spending 10 million on marketing. He says he's uncensored, but he's not. He's quite the opposite. He's regulated by Ofcom, can't say anything. A bit like here, regulated by YouTube. But thankfully at alexbelfield.com, tomorrow I can go into data explaining why 1,300 people died last week, excess to what should have normally happened this time of year. And that's gone on for weeks. We're now paying the price of all the things we've said, all the things we've talked about for 2 years that they didn't want me to say, all of the wars and battles with the likes of Ben Ellery, who said that I'd caused an ambush of Keir Starmer that didn't happen. All of these things are going to come to light in the coming weeks because the truth comes out in the end. The whole truth, in fact, and nothing but the truth. Tomorrow we continue the court reports. People confused as to how I'm doing those reports. I transcribe live every word in that court via the permission of Judge Saini. I literally sit and write every word and then bring it to you as quick as I can. You're not allowed to record in a court, and there certainly wouldn't be time to get it to you by 6 or 7 if I were to record it, bring it home and transcribe it then. It is transcribed live. My brain works very quickly. Too quick for a lot of people in politics who want to try and razzle-dazzle us by talking about how they're going to be a wonderful Prime Minister without underscoring what are they going to do with the £15,000 they got last week for resigning, and then they'll be given their job back so they'll pocket it. Things like that I don't like, but this is why people don't like me. I notice things people aren't talking about, like 1,500 excess deaths last week that actually, after COVID, die with and of, you know all about that, resulted in 1,300 families devastated, and nobody knows why. I know why, and I'm going to tell you tomorrow, 6 a.m. at alexbelfield.com. Thank you to the thousands of you who are now joining our party daily. It's amazing. It's the dream come true for me. And my favourite thing to do is the phone in. And we're back tonight from 9. If you want to see the show live, me ranting and raving and trying to be funny, you can go to alexbelfield.com, go to tickets. We'll be in Eastbourne. 2 shows in August. I'll be with Katie Hopkins in Llanelli with 2 Gobshites Live, and I'll be back in Blackpool at the North Pier at the Joe Longthorne Theatre 2 in August. The court report's back about 6 or 7 tomorrow at alexbelfield.com. That won't be on YouTube until Tuesday for technical reasons tomorrow. So if you want to see the court report, you will have to go to alexbelfield.com, but it will be there from 6 a.m. on Tuesday. Don't you worry about that. Right, I'll see you tonight from 9. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Suspended by YouTube, strip search for being a bomber, to a witch hunt by the beef, and cancelled by Ben O'Leary at the Dopey Times. We don't get too tiny shites. Let's go rogue and ad-free at alexbelfield.com. The secret VOR club. Sign up now and get shushy shush shush. Don't tell the lefties or the woke tart shushy.
Did you hear that? That was the voice of fucking reason, wasn't it?